The world is a complex tapestry of cultures, religions, and ideologies. These differences, while enriching our planet, can also lead to conflict. Understanding these global flashpoints is crucial. They are not just distant events. Conflicts impact global security, fueling terrorism and displacement. Two such enduring conflicts, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the Kashmir conflict, demand our attention. They remind us of the human cost of unresolved disputes and the urgent need for peaceful solutions. These conflicts are rooted in history, identity, and claims to land. They are further complicated by external actors and the rise of extremism. By examining these conflicts, we can better grasp their complexities. We can then understand their impact on global peace and security. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is one of the most enduring conflicts in modern history. It centers on the same piece of land, considered holy by both Jews and Palestinians. The conflict's roots can be traced back centuries, with both sides claiming historical and religious connections to the region. For Jews, the land is their biblical homeland, promised by God. For Palestinians, it is the land they have inhabited for generations. The Zionist movement, emerging in the late 19th century, advocated for a Jewish state in Palestine. This was driven by rising anti-Semitism in Europe, culminating in the horrors of the Holocaust. The establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, following the British withdrawal from Palestine, displaced hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. This event, known as the Nakba catastrophe by Palestinians, remains a deeply traumatic event in their collective memory. The decades since 1948 have been marked by several wars and uprisings. The Six-Day War in 1967 resulted in Israel's occupation of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem. This occupation, along with the expansion of Israeli settlements in these territories, remains a major point of contention. The Palestinian Authority, established in the 1990s, governs parts of the West Bank, but lacks full sovereignty. Gaza, controlled by Hamas since 2007, faces a severe humanitarian crisis due to an Israeli blockade. The conflict has also been marked by violence. Palestinian militant groups like Hamas and Islamic Jihad have launched rockets into Israel. Israel, in turn, has conducted military operations in Gaza, resulting in civilian casualties. Both sides accuse each other of human rights violations. Nestled in the Himalayas, Kashmir is a region of breathtaking beauty. However, its stunning landscape belies a long and troubled history. The Kashmir conflict is a territorial dispute primarily between India and Pakistan, with China also controlling a portion of the region. The conflict's roots lie in the partition of British India in 1947. The princely state of Jammu and Kashmir, with a Muslim-majority population but ruled by a Hindu Maharaja, faced a difficult choice. The Maharaja initially wished to remain independent. However, an armed incursion by Pakistani tribesmen forced his hand, leading him to accede to India. This accession sparked the First Kashmir War between India and Pakistan in 1947-48. Section 5. Pakistan's Role and the Shadow of Terrorism. The 1947-48 war resulted in a ceasefire line dividing Kashmir between India and Pakistan. However, the conflict reignited in 1965, leading to another war. Pakistan's support for separatist groups in Indian-administered Kashmir has been a constant source of tension. These groups, some advocating for independence and others for merger with Pakistan, have often resorted to violence. India accuses Pakistan of sponsoring cross-border terrorism, providing training, arms, and logistical support to militant groups. The Kargil War in 1999, where Pakistani soldiers infiltrated Indian-controlled territory, further escalated tensions. The presence of militant groups operating in Pakistan-administered Kashmir has also raised concerns about the region becoming a safe haven for terrorists. Section 6. Aksai Chin, a geopolitical flashpoint. Adding another layer of complexity to the Kashmir conflict is China's control of Aksai Chin. This high-altitude desert region, claimed by India as part of Ladakh, was occupied by China during the 1962 Sino-Indian War. China's presence in Aksai Chin is strategically significant, providing a vital link between Tibet and Xinjiang. The unresolved border dispute between India and China, particularly in the Ladakh region, continues to fuel tensions. Recent years have witnessed military standoffs and infrastructure buildup along the line of actual control, the de facto border. The Aksai Chin issue highlights the geopolitical complexities of the Kashmir conflict, with multiple actors vying for influence in this strategically important region. The Israeli-Palestinian and Kashmir conflicts, while geographically distant, share a tragic commonality: the immense human cost. Generations have grown up amidst violence, fear, and uncertainty. The loss of innocent lives, the displacement of communities, and the psychological scars of conflict are a stark reminder of the devastating impact of these unresolved disputes. In both conflicts, civilians bear the brunt of the violence. Rocket attacks, airstrikes, cross-border shelling, and terrorist attacks have claimed countless lives. The lack of access to basic necessities like healthcare, education, and economic opportunities further exacerbates the suffering of ordinary people. The cycle of violence and mistrust has created deep divisions within and between communities. Finding lasting peace in both the Israeli-Palestinian and Kashmir conflicts remains a daunting challenge. However, it is a challenge that must be met for the sake of current and future generations. The path to peace requires a multifaceted approach, involving all parties to the conflict and the international community. Dialogue, however difficult, is the only way forward. Both sides must come to the negotiating table with a willingness to listen, compromise, and find common ground. Addressing the root causes of the conflicts, including historical grievances, security concerns, and claims to land and resources, is crucial. The international community has a vital role to play in facilitating dialogue, providing humanitarian assistance, and holding parties accountable for human rights violations. The Israeli-Palestinian and Kashmir conflicts are not isolated regional disputes. They have far-reaching implications for global peace and security. The presence of extremist groups operating in these conflict zones poses a threat that extends beyond regional borders. The unresolved conflicts also fuel instability, hindering economic development and cooperation. Moreover, these conflicts often become entangled in global power dynamics, with external actors pursuing their strategic interests. The international community must prioritize diplomatic solutions and multilateral cooperation to address these conflicts. Promoting interfaith dialogue and understanding is crucial to combating extremism and fostering a culture of peace. The Israeli-Palestinian and Kashmir conflicts stand as stark reminders of the human cost of unresolved disputes. They highlight the urgent need for peaceful solutions based on dialogue, compromise, and respect for human rights. The path to peace will be long and arduous, requiring patience, perseverance, and a shared commitment from all stakeholders. The international community must remain actively engaged, supporting efforts to build trust, address grievances, and create a conducive environment for lasting peace. Only through sustained dialogue and a genuine commitment to peaceful coexistence can we hope to achieve a future where these conflicts are relegated to the history books. The alternative, continued violence, suffering, and instability, is simply unacceptable.